Obeisances, Jai Shri Prabhupada. This is Preeti Vilasni Devidasi from Atlanta. Thank you, Mataji, for your warm welcoming. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasni Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for beautiful BG recitation. And welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj and Gauranga. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Dandot pranams to all devotees here. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Sumi from Chennai, India.
Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call from Chennai. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Neetu Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Vrinda from Atlanta, Paniyati Dham.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Cincinnati.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Nice to meet you. So,
Hare Krishna. Anyone else who would like to introduce themselves? Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sankajapa conference call. Vancha Kalpatrupasya Kripa Sindhu Pevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnava Srila. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today we will be moving on to the next session, that is Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. But before moving on to the session, I would like to read Prabhupada's quote for today. Today is May 6th. Prabhupada has written a letter to Mukunda, May 6, 1968. Every disciple should always remain busy in some work for Krishna. We shall not allow to remain vacant our mind. And if the mind is always filled up with Krishna consciousness activities, there is no chance of Maya to sit on the mind and force us to act under her spell. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Wonderful quote. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today's topic will be from, I don't see Prabhuji on call. Okay, let's wait for Prabhuji. But before Prabhuji joins, anyone who would like to introduce themselves can go ahead till Prabhuji joins. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Once again, welcome all of you to this Madhya Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for being valid and association. And today's topic will be from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Khanda, chapter 23, from verses 517 to 536. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, August Prabhupada. It's always a pleasure to discuss Krishna Katha in the assembly of Vaishnavas. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. So we are reading from Shri Chaitanya Bhagavata, Madhya Khanda, chapter 23, text number 517, and we will discuss through the end of this chapter. The chapter title, Wandering About Navadvipa on the day the Lord delivered the Gazi. Adideva Jaya Jaya Nityananda Raya Chaitanya Kirtana Spure Yahara Kripaya. All glories to Lord Nityananda, the primeval Lord, by whose mercy glorification of Lord Chaitanya manifests. Keha Bale Nityananda Balarama Samam Keha Bale Chaitanya Bada Priyatamam. Some say Nityananda is equal to Balarama, and some say he is most dear to Lord Chaitanya. Keha Bale Mahateji Amsa Adhikari Keha Bale Kona Rupa Bhujita Napari. Some say he is the most powerful plenary portion of the Lord, and others say we cannot understand who he is. Kiva Jiva Nityananda Kiva Bhakta Jnani Yara Ena Mata Icha Nahi Bola Ekeni. Someone may consider Nityananda a living entity. someone may consider him a devotee and someone may consider him a jnani. They may say whatever they like. ऐसे कहने चैतन्य र नित्यानंद नाहे तबु से चरण धन राहु का हृदय. No matter what relationship Nityananda has with Lord Chaitanya, I keep the treasure of his lotus feet in my heart. एत परिहारे वो ये पापी निंदा करे तबे लाती मारो तार शीरेर उपारे. Therefore, I kick the head of any sinful person who disregards the glories of Lord Nityananda and dares to criticize him. Chaitanya Priyera Paye Mora Namaskara Avaduta Chandra Prabhu Hau Kamara. I offer my obeisances at the feet of Lord Chaitanya's dear devotees so that Avaduta Chandra may become my Lord. Chaitanya Kripaya Se Nityananda Shini Nityananda Janai Le Kaura Chandra Jhani. By the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, I came to know Lord Nityananda, and if Nityananda reveals Gaura Chandra to me, I will come to know him. Text 525. Gaura Chandra Nityananda Shri Rama Lakshmana Gaura Chandra Krishna Nityananda Sankarshana. Gaura Chandra Nityananda are Shri Rama and Lakshmana. Gaura Chandra is Krishna and Nityananda is Sankarshana. Text 126. Sorry, 526. Nityananda Swarupe se Chaitanyera Bhakti Sarva Bhave Karite Daraye Prabhu Shakti. Nityananda Swarupa is empowered by the Lord to fully engage in devotional service of Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanyera Yata Priya Sevaka Pradhanam Tanhara Se Gyanta Nityanandera Akhyana. All the beloved principal servants of Lord Chaitanya know the glories of Nityananda. Tabe dekaha anye vandva bhaje ranga kare Krishna Chandra keha nahi bhuje. But the quarrels that are seen among the devotees are simply Krishna's pastimes, which are not understood by all. Text 529. Ihate eka Vaishnavera Pakshalaya Anya Vaishnavera Ninde Se Yakshaya. If someone takes the side of one Vaishnava and blasphemes another Vaishnava, he is certainly vanquished. Text 530. Sarva Bhave Bhaje Krishna Kare Naye Ninde Seyi Saganana Paya Vaishnavera Vrinde. One who serves Krishna without deviation and without blaspheming anyone is counted as a Vaishnava. Text 531. Advaita Charane Mora Yei Namaskaram Dana Priyata He Mati Rahuka Amara. I offer my obeisances at the feet of Advaita. May my mind remain attached to those who are dear to him. Text 532. Sarva Goshti Sahita Gauranga Jaya Jaya Sunileyi Madhya Kanda Bhakti Labhyahaya. All glories to Gauranga along with his associates. Simply by hearing the topics of Madhya Kanda, one attains devotional service. Text 533. Advaitera Pakshalaya Ninde Gadadaram Seyi Papishta Kabuna He Advaita Inkaram. That sinful person who takes the side of Advaita and blasphemes Gadadara can never be a servant of Advaita. Chaitanya Chandrera Katha Amrita Madhuram Sakala Jivera Mane Baduka Prachuram. The topics of Sri Chaitanya Chandra are as sweet as nectar. Let this nectar inundate the minds of all the living entities. Sunile Chaitanya Katha Yarahaya Sukam Se Avashya Deki Beka Chaitanya Shri Mukam. One who is happy to hear the topics of Lord Chaitanya will certainly see his lotus face. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chandra Jnana Janam Vrindavana Dasa Tachupada Yuge Ganam. Accepting Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I Vrindavana Dasa sing the glories of their lotus feet. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakayam Chakshurun Militam Menam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaham Namam Vishnu Padayam Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedantam Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanandam Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Psychologically speaking, if someone is madly in love with a person, the entire functioning of that person will be centered around his love. He will not be able to restrict his thinking beyond the object or the personification of love. Vrindavan Das Thakura, for 22 verses, I'm sure several more verses in the past, several more verses in the future, we are going to discuss about Vrindavan Das Thakura's love, attachment, inclination for serving Lord Gaura Sundara. He will not be able to restrict himself because he is not glorifying them as a formality. In our devotional life, achieving to that stage of Krishna consciousness where Kayena Vacham, Manasrendriyaivam, Buddhyatmanavat, Prakriti Swabhavat, Karomi Yatyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayana iti Samarpayami, that we rise up to that level where mind, body, words, intelligence, heart is all everything able to glorify and remember about the Supreme Lord. Such is the real stage of Samadhi. Samadhi, in a typical sense, Mayavadi's or Yogi Jnani's viewpoint, means inaction, withdrawal of action from worldly activities. But for Gaudiya Vaishnava, for a practicing devotee, the stage of Samadhi means He can't remove his vision, thinking, willing, feeling, action, desire, everything from the Supreme Lord's lotus feet. He is exceptionally made it very clear that in my life, I do not want anything else apart from Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, no less, and there is nothing more than that. So that is Vrindavan Das Thakura. And it is our greatest fortune that the feelings and desires and emotions that Vrindavan Das Thakura is having for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is sharing it with us. It is very rare. Generally, Vaishnavas, self-realized souls, they generally don't open up their emotional feelings in an open forum because of multiple reasons, and some of them are the fear of them being misunderstood, fear of them of giving overdosage, fear of them that probably it will attract only name, fame and adoration, which is not conducive for developing love. So, Vrindavan Das Thakura has done such a wonderful act of opening his heart, revealing it to us, establishing how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and taking shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life and activities is the prima facie agenda, and that is his life and soul. So we are going to analyze this current context through some sets of reflections. The very first reflection is about to understand the mood of such a person. We'll try to understand that mood, how special that is, and how important it is, and how it is vital for us to recognize them and go after them. That's our first reflection. So I will give this analogy of voice artist. In movies, in drama, in theaters, especially nowadays with technological advancement, the artist's real voice is not presented in real time. Either the artist who is playing the role, he dubs his own voice, or somebody else speaks for him and he just do the lip syncing. So the guy who is doing the dubbing, his skill is voice modulation. Just by modulating his or her voice, only two functions of the body, nasal, throat. Just by these two things, they entertain people. One single person speaks multiple voices for multiple actors and give a real impression. This is voice artist. What about a performer? Whether it is a musical, whether it is dance, drama, movie, an actor, he does body modulation. He modifies his changes, he conducts so much of movements in his body which is pleasing, entertaining, exciting for the audience. He does not have anything. One level above, illusionist, munis, rishis, they do mental modulation. They are able to churn their mind. They are able to control their mind in such a manner that they are able to influence the surrounding and able to gain a lot of things for their own personal self and provide support for the society. So mental modulation, Rishi, Muni, Jnanis, they have been in this world demonstrating the power of meditation, power of sense control, power of mind control, power of, focusing the mind on the, object of worship. Above all of these is those who is able to modulate their heart, who is able to tune up their heart, who are able to open their heart, which is full of love, care, and service attitude for the personification of their worship, whom they love, who is their life and soul. And what they do is, by the way of them dovetailing their heart, which is focused to think of Krishna, which is focused to serve Krishna, which is always work for the welfare of humanity at large, as Krishna wanted, and as an offering to one's spiritual master, one is able to modulate, modify, function in a manner which is glorious, exemplary. Whilst doing this activity of putting their heart into this, a devotee utilizes his body, his voice, his mind, and the entire holistic life in the direction of their heart. That is why a devotee's heart is called the temple of heart, where the Lord resides. Tomara Hridaye Sada Govinda Vishram. So Vrindavan Das Thakura is presenting here the mood of a surrendered soul. And he is setting it as a benchmark how a person who is surrendered to the lotus feet of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu should, function. And he functions in the direction of heart, where the heart is focused to think of Krishna, serve Krishna, always work for the humanity at large, as Krishna wanted, as an offering to Guru. So your voice modulation, body modulation, mental modulation, everything will get purified. And the real artist and the real magician and the real game changer for us is such a Vaishnava, whose company is very rare, is very valuable, and it is extremely scientific. That is why Narottam Das Thakur is crying, where is my Ramachandra? Where are my friends? How will I able to be function? Srinivasacharya is weeping because he is going to learn Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left the world, Nityananda Prabhu left the world, Shiva, Janava Mata left the world, Rupa Goswami left the world, Sanatana Goswami left the world. One after the other, they are leaving this world. Srinivasa Acharya is thinking that, how am I going to live? So this is the mood of a Vaishnava. For him, the focal point and the drive force is the Supreme Lord and Supreme Lord's vision. Every other activity for that devotee will follow that. And we are fortunate to have many such visionaries who have done that. And that's exactly what Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying. By following such personalities, because he is explaining Nityananda Prabhu is one such personality, Advaita Acharya is one such personality, Srivas Thakur is one such personality, Gadadhar Pandit is one such personality who is going after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and I want Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so I will glorify them through their lotus feet. I will achieve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And for us, as students of Srila Prabhupada, our life is very simple. If we want, just follow Bhaktivedanta purports. Just follow in the footsteps of Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And then that love, that emotions, that excitement that great acharyas exhibited, one day we will also experience. So my first reflection is about the mood of a surrendered soul is to just find anyone and everyone who are surrendered to their masters and just simply serve them. So if you very carefully read these 22 verses, Vrindavan Das Thakura is desiring to be an eternal associate, servant, and a dutiful subordinate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But for that he is giving a route. Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhara Pandit, and all the souls who have surrendered to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are all my dearest. So this is called Ek Tir Mein Anek Nishan. One agenda to glorify Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he glorified Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhara Pandit, and all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, which in turn pleases Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So as a practicing devotees, we need to know that our life is dependent, our spiritual life is dependent on all of those great souls. So without them, it's a big shunya, big zero for all of us. One devotee family is a part of our congregation. So recently we had conducted a Utsav. It's an annual festival. We call them as Prabodhan Utsav. So this family used to regularly come for our programs, and the head of the family, the husband of the family, is a well-wisher and likes devotees, but was not very actively participating in our program sessions, chanting, etc. So this festival, we were thinking how to engage him also. So multiple suggestions came. Finally, we decided that we will ask him to be a co-MC, Master of Ceremonies, because it was a 2-day festival. So we say that because this person is in a very, very senior most position in corporate. He's an executive director of a multi-billion-dollar company. So we said that okay, we'll make him as a co-MC with other devotees. And I had requested him, why don't you do this service? Because I requested this in front of so many devotees, he couldn't say no. He said, I'll give a try. And eventually he agreed. So he relayed a realization which is in line with what we are just discussing. So he said, Prabhuji, I was not at all interested, but somehow you told this in front of everyone, so I couldn't, say no. And because I said yes, I didn't want to go back. And I was so afraid because this festival, thousands of people come for this festival. At least 2 days put together, we had close to 2,000, 2,200 visitors. So he said, I was so nervous. And on the day of the festival, I was so nervous. I wasn't sure how am I even going to do this important service. Somehow I accepted. So I was waiting, and suddenly somebody called me. And they gave me Srila Prabhupada's picture and said that please go and keep this Prabhupada picture in the Vyasasan. And it was a huge picture of Prabhupada. So I carried the picture all alone. I kept the picture in the Vyasasan. I offered my obeisances. And that's it. My entire fear for performing the service suddenly vanished, and I got some urja, some enthusiasm to perform the service, and by Prabhupada's mercy, the service went well. And the next day, since the service was continuation, the next day I was really, telling Krishna, yesterday you helped me. Today also you give me an indication so that I'm able to do the service. I was just thinking about it. Casually, one devotee called me and said, please put the garland to Prabhupada in the Vyasasan. And he started crying. He said this a couple of days before. He started crying and telling that actually this entire service, I personally feel, was done by Prabhupada's mercy. And if it was not for Prabhupada's mercy, I would have not been able to do this service. This person has no prior exposure apart from 1 or 2, 3 or 4 lectures that you would have done in his house. Otherwise, he's not a regular participant or program, neither chants. His family members are devotees. And he says, please note that this is real, and I feel more and more now to hear Srila Prabhupada and associate with whatever he says, because this is my real experience. So, and the experience that I have when I heard this is that just by you following in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, you will be able to get that ecstasy. You will be able to enjoy that, profile, which otherwise takes ages. And that is exactly the ecstasy that Vrindavan Das Thakura is referring to. And as is explained by Vrindavan Das Thakura, only those who have a proper vision will be able to realize that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission is still going on, and it is just not got over. Which means that the experiences that this gentleman have, these experiences that you and me are having when we are performing devotional service, we are experiencing something real, and we are part of Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission. So what a great fortune that is. What a great blessings that is. And that is very, very rare. So I want to conclude my first reflection by saying that this act of acknowledging, recognizing, appreciating, thanking, glorifying all the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we does multiple things. One is individually glorify them. Second is please Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And third is establish and register how much Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means to me, which means how much my life is indebted for the service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Srila Prabhupada's purpose of establishing this Krishna consciousness movement is to win all of us for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission. So this is the mood of a Gaudiya Vaishnava. This is the mood of a practicing devotee. So hence let us learn not to miss this opportunity of being part of this glorious movement. Srila Prabhupada has started this movement, which actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had inaugurated. He set it up another tone, another mindset, that whilst we are doing all our activities, we involve Krishna, we glorify Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna, Shika. Otherwise, our heart is dog-like. It will jump everywhere. Kali Kukura Kadam Jadi Chao Hem Kaliyuga Pavana Kali Bhayanashana Sri Sachinandana Gao Hem Kali Yuga Pavana Kali Bhayanashana. Last week, the last class, we discussed how if Kali does not want to do certain things, and how these great Vaishnavas want us to do certain things, and there's a very interesting, fight. Kali does not want us to glorify Krishna or Srimad Bhagavatam. So Kali will introduce Avishwasaniya, which means Kali will introduce doubts. Kali will introduce, several misunderstandings. Kali will make us not chant. And all those evil effects of Kali will be challenged, will be, completely snubbed off when we take shelter of such Vaishnavas. So Vrindavan Das Thakura is teaching in one shot 3 things. Number 1, I am surrendered to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Number 2, all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are glorious. And number 3, by following in their footsteps, only then I will get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'll tell a small story from Russia, or some episode that happened in that part of the world several years before. I don't remember the exact verbatim of each and every part of it, but it's a very, interesting story. This, if you have read this book called Salted Bread, you could have heard this part of the story. So this was in earlier days of Russia, what used to be called as USSR. ISKCON, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, devotees were seen as a threat. So the communist government was so they were so much against these kind of propagandas that they simply harassed devotees. One day they arrested one devotee and they tried everything possible to distract him, make him stop chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sam, Dan, Ved, Sab kar liya. They said that if you happen to be our spy, if you happen to be our supporters, we will help you, relieve you, give you some free bucks. So many things that they allude that this devotee was so steadfastly focused. He kept on remembering, chanting, glorifying Krishna, and had a very strict, stay there in the jail. So suddenly one person in the jail said that we will bring in a witch hunt and try to attack on him and disturb his consciousness. So they had called for a very, very famous, successful witch hunt who is very good expert in black magic and some sort of these all notorious activities. So they said, do whatever you want, but he should be derailed from his spiritual consciousness. That was the task for this lady. So she said she went to kind of perform her act there inside the jail. But within few moments, she came out running out of the jail, out of the cell. Says, shouting, screaming, save me, save me. This is actually an episode that happened. This is an encounter by a devotee and this is recorded. And maybe, here and there with respect to details, but the story is real. So all the jailers, the superintendents, they said, what happened? Why are you running out? He said, I cannot treat this guy. This is very, very risky. I will not be able to do this. He said, why? What happened? He said, I am trying to, take him away from his Krishna consciousness or from his spiritual consciousness. Whenever I try to approach him, an old man with a stick in his hand is coming after me, chasing me out of the cell. He is showing me out of the cell and I am not able to stay there. I will not able to deal with the situation. And that was the Srila Prabhupada. So the point is, when we surrender to a self-realized soul, for following the instructions of the self-realized soul, which is to eventually surrender to Krishna, glorify Krishna, and win more souls to Krishna, then the self-realized soul, along with the entire entourage of devotees and Vaishnavas, they are going to be our caretakers and we are very well protected. We don't need to worry about anything else. The only caveat is our intent is supposed to be in line with their intent. Many times we know senior devotees, we surrender to senior devotees, but we surrender and in their association seek some materialistic help. That's where the problem comes. So that's my first reflection. Second reflection is about a very interesting thread that Vrindavan Das Thakura keep repeating. The same set of comments of Vrindavan Das Thakura we read few chapters before. Similar. He says that anyone who blasphemes anyone else, he's saying that in the name of serving one Vaishnava, in the name of appreciating one Vaishnava, in the name of trying to glorify one Vaishnava, if anyone tries to insult another Vaishnava, then that is not a very good configuration. Because if a person has to serve a Vaishnava, it should be not by insulting, blaspheming, humiliating another Vaishnava. So, in the shloka number 530 commentary, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj writes, by serving the Supreme Lord without deviation, one does not get an opportunity to blaspheme. One does not get an opportunity to blaspheme the demigods who are situated within the Supreme Lord's external energy. Such an exalted devotee free from blasphemy is truly counted among the topmost servants of the Supreme Lord. So technically, the point is anyone who is insulting, humiliating, making fun of Vaishnavas, in verse 529, Vrindavan Das Thakura says, if someone takes the side of one Vaishnava and blasphemes another Vaishnava, he is certainly vanquished. So my second reflection hence is that, as Vrindavan Das Thakura says in another place, Anindaka hoi jai, Sakrit Krishna bhaje, Satya Satya Muhitare, Udharido hele. He is quoting Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's statement. What is that statement? Anindaka hoi jai, Sakrit Krishna bhaje. If anyone is free from ninda, free from criticism, and constantly chant the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says? Satya Satya Muhitare Udharilo hele. So it is a very interesting and important point to note, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very much interested in delivering all of us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very much interested in seeing to that we are, able to somehow or other come closer to the Sankirtan mission. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot accept that person who is a nindakar, who criticizes. And it is important that we don't cheat ourselves by saying that this is all done for the sake of saving someone. That is why Vrindavan Das Thakura is writing this in one of the shlokas, that we need to take we are not going to take sides, rather we are going to take the side of being servants and stay neutral and not try to take sides and blaspheme a Vaishnava. So I will once again quote one more place from Nectar of Instruction, chapter 5, text 5, Nectar of Instruction. This is a very famous paragraph which I would have read many times. The Krishna consciousness movement prescribes 16 rounds daily because people in the Western countries cannot concentrate for longer periods while chanting on beats. Therefore, the minimum number of rounds is prescribed. However, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura used to say that unless one chants at least 64 rounds of japa, 100,000 names, he is considered fallen, patita. According to his calculation, practically every one of us is fallen. But because we are trying to serve the Supreme Lord with all seriousness and without duplicity, we can expect the mercy of Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who is famous as Patita Pavana, the deliverer of the fallen. So this is a very important point. According to his calculation, according to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj's calculation, practically every one of us is fallen because we are not chanting 100,000 names. But because we are trying to serve the Supreme Lord with all seriousness and without duplicity, that is the sutra. So my second reflection, I want to conclude by saying that Vrindavan Das Thakura is warning, saying that never try to be a duplicitous, hypocritical nindakar, an offender, a willful defaulter. Because seriousness and non-dupliciousness, if it is there, then even though our standard may be apparently low, we are given a chance. Our activities are recognized. So my second reflection is to say that Vrindavan Das Thakura is warning us of being rude towards Vaishnavas by offending them, taking sides, or trying to be having a superiority complex over them. When I say superiority complex over them, many a times we give weightage to our conclusions, our learnings, our way of doing things, rather than realizing what is needed for performing devotional service as enunciated by acharyas. So there we get a sort of a mismatch, and we derail from Krishna consciousness. This is my second reflection. The third reflection is something as an extension from this 22 verses. I have a personal reflection which I will share. Because technically, after going through so much in Krishna consciousness philosophy, at least for me, if I can start from 2017, 2016, 17, or maybe 17, 18. Since then, I am speaking in, I'm associated in this Bhakti Sangha Japa group. And maybe by Krishna's mercy, much before onwards, I've been, associated with the devotees. So if I try to dwell on my thinking as the best thinking, my analysis the best analysis, my way of doing things is the best way of doing things, I will fail to see the reality around. I will fail to see Krishna helping me around. I will fail to realize that so much of support system is around, and I have experienced in the last 35 years of my being in ISKCON that we as devotees sometimes, without knowing to focus on the crux, we get distracted and does not know how to focus on the crux, and we lose the track. Here Vrindavan Das Thakura has very nicely laid the track. But still we are not able to walk on the track because we are multi-folded in our thinking. Bahu shakaki anantasya buddhayo vyavasayinam. So we are supposed to be extraordinary devotees, but we are being either ordinary or even less than ordinary devotees. The process is extraordinary. The Vaishnavas are extraordinary. The opportunities are extraordinary. When it is extraordinary, the way we approach that is supposed to be also extraordinary. But somehow or other, we, at least I, tend to see in me and few of, wherever I'm seeing, that point we are missing. Because Prabhupada's target for us is to become Goswamis. All the Acharyas' desire is that we win ourselves to the lotus feet of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's desire is that somehow or other in this life, please rescue yourself from the cycle of birth and death. All things are in place. Our support system is in place. There are people ready to help us. There are processes which are made easy for us. So what is then left is us. So I was talking to our youth, devotees this Sunday, and we were discussing that what does an extraordinary devotee does? And that's when we were introducing an important acronym called HMD and LMD. Heavy maintenance devotee, light maintenance devotee. Many of the times, we become heavy maintenance devotee, heavy maintenance disciple. It is very difficult to deal with such people. What do you mean by heavy maintenance devotee? One who is stuck and attached to his or her own views as the right views. One who is self-centered more than principled or the goal-centered. One who is sucking the blood of the spiritual organization rather than giving the blood for the spiritual organization. One who is blaspheming or bringing blasphemy to the guru rather than eliminating all the obstacles in the preaching. How many times we have seen this heavy maintenance devotees, heavy maintenance disciples? It's too much. It's not only heavy maintenance devotee, we have seen very many heavy maintenance people around us. Sometimes we say, hey, my God, I cannot deal with him. Very complicated. So why I am telling this acronym here is, an extraordinary devotee is a light maintenance devotee. What does it mean? His life is simple. He will simply follow in the footsteps of predecessor acharyas and his superiors, and his focus is not him. In the first place, his focus is to please the acharyas and authorities, instructions. In turn, he will get benefit. That is LMD. That is light maintenance devotee. We need many more such devotees. Jayapataka Maharaj in Madurai, recently when we had this Guru Ajna program, he mentioned Bhaktivinoda Thakur has predicted that hundreds and thousands and billions of people are going to take up Krishna consciousness. Which means Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prediction is going to come true. Now, for that prediction to come true, somebody has to work. Otherwise, somebody else will anyway work and take it forward. So, can you be that somebody? So, he was encouraging all of us. Can you be that somebody? Can you preach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's names? Can you win more and more souls? Can you bring in more and more devotees to this process? By the way of you becoming spiritual masters. And what does that word of spiritual masters means? My guru is heavy and his instructions are heavy, and I need to be lighter enough to be able to appreciate that. If I am heavier, if I am more head-weighted, if I am more egoistic, if I am more arrogant, then I cannot do extraordinary work. So, for us to do extraordinary devotee, 3 things are required. I need to be a light maintenance devotee, a disciple. Number 2, take people along with us. Only when I am lighter, only when I am, quotient free, ego, envy, pride free, I will be able to take people along. Otherwise, I'll be keeping on throwing tantrums. Oh, I didn't get the facility like this. I didn't get the resources like this. We'll keep complaining. In our last class, we discussed about 6 types of adhama sishyas. One of them is whining type. They keep blaming. Keep referring to failure devotees and not do anything. So for us to become an extraordinary devotee, you take people along, understanding the mood of the Supreme Lord and our spiritual master. The third important function to become extraordinary is make sure that you don't get stuck or don't get hampered when any one of them on the way happens to be a HMD, heavy maintenance devotee, and delays your journey. The third point is pretty critical because it comes out of some personal realization. In the process of you serving, if somebody comes and be an obstacle, and if that obstacle does not make you to be in your true self to serve your spiritual master, you should hand over them to somebody else and not bother about them and stay stuck and move on. Meaning the mission has to move on. You cannot, at any cost, let the mission suffer. So my third reflection is that because we are part of this extraordinary Sankirtan mission. This is not a regular arrangement. This is an extraordinary arrangement. It is important for us to become a light maintenance, which means we relinquish our quotient, we relinquish our superiority complex. At the same time, maintain our genuinity and follow the direction given by our seniors, and take people along. And as we go along, at any point in time, if you there is a baggage which is delaying you, which is detracting you from some of the ones that you are carrying, and please make sure that you can hand over them to someone else. Our daya, our kripa, our sahishnuta should be favoring our Krishna consciousness, not derailing our Krishna consciousness. So those are the three sets of reflections from this current context, where Vrindavan Das Thakura is glorifying about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glorious Sankirtan mission, and how the entire universe will get benefited, and still till now Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission is going on. So I'll stop here and take up any questions, comments, reflections, and thoughts. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavata ki jai, Hitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Any questions, comments, or reflections?
Hi, Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for a very interesting class. And I was just thinking about this high maintenance and low maintenance devotees, and your definition and of high maintenance and low maintenance. Sometimes I just think how easily I can become a high maintenance, especially when I'm sticking to my own views. So thank you so much. It was an eye opener, in fact. Thank you so much for these very inspiring classes. We are so grateful to you, Prabhu. Yeah, I think there is so much to work on. And every day it's a new revelation to see where we lack. So these classes are very helpful, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, all those Prabhupada. Today is Mother Sita's appearance day, and it's a very auspicious day in Mumbai. We had a celebration in our temple, and I'm sure wherever Sita, Ram, Lakshmana, Hanuman deities are there, they will do a celebration. So we hear from Ramayana, we hear from Bhagavata, we hear from every place only one single thing, that make sure that we catch that trail of where our acharyas have walked, and just walk that path behind, so that we are saved from all the other distractions. If we miss that trail, then we have to then get distracted. So any other thoughts, comments, reflections? Okay, there is none. Then
Praladananda Prabhu.
Haribol Prabhuji, Haribol Mata, Haribol to everyone. Prabhuji, I have one question, and this is kind of my own, what do we call, setback. Whenever I hear any lecture, whenever I like this, I become kind of critical. Critical in the sense, there are devotees who are giving lectures, and every other sentence, like that, That kind of thing really bothers me. I don't know. I took the course called Teachers Training course also, and I think Priti Vilasi Mataji was also teaching like this. So is this bad to, become disturbed by such kind of, repeated, or not only that
very,
thing.
very good for me, because thanks for this feedback. I will try to improve upon this. So I know that I have been having this habit of, sometimes using them. It is not very good when you give a class for an esteemed audience. You are supposed to conduct and present in a particular manner. So this question, I'm not sure how much I can help you, but definitely I will take this as a lesson, feedback, and input for me. I have observed this, but still I am not yet completely come out of this in terms of making it to a perfect presentation as it is supposed to be. Now that since you have raised a philosophical question, is it right to be disturbed, in such scenarios? I'll tell my 2 cents. Depends upon who that person, whose lecture you are attending, and by hearing this, you get agitated or disturbed. If it is your students, if it is people like me, I guess it is good for people like me to hear these comments and feedbacks to help me in improving in our services, because a lot of valuable time is being invested. At least there are 20 devotees currently being online, listening to this, which means last 1 hour, 20 man hours are invested into this service. So better be I be serious. But when it comes to getting irritated to someone who is senior to you or senior to us or to our spiritual authorities, getting sometimes irritated is not very conducive. I'll tell us an interesting episode that happened. Once Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was going to sing Mangalarati, Samsara Dava song. So in that Mangalarati, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj finished singing, but in terms of tune, in terms of sur, tal, etc., probably it was not in line with perfection. I mean, that's the word I'm using for the sake of explaining the context. In a spiritual context, it was perfect, but then one devotee who knew music felt Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj singing was a bit off track. So he started smiling, laughing during the kirtan. And after the Mangalarati, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj called the devotee and chastised, saying that you don't even know what you're supposed to focus on. Do you think this Mangalarati is centered around the tune? Do you think this Mangalarati is centered around the tal? Do you think Mangalarati is centered around the Mangalarati is about the mood of a student towards a spiritual master? So he chastised them. So the point is that to whom are we getting irritated, and associated reasoning. If you are getting irritated towards your students, to your subordinates, even to your friends, it can help them to improve. If it is towards our seniors, and if the reason is because they are not perfect, so then I guess it is something to be worked upon. Because Krishna consciousness is a process of absolute purity. Maybe there are some imperfections. I don't know whether I am able to explain what I want to say. Imperfections are allowed. Maybe a person may not be able to speak as a big orator. A person may have a grammatical mistakes in their speech. A person may be not be able to coherent in their speech. A person may not be able to articulate the content. But if the intent and the devotion is nice, then the net result is only glorious. Prabhupada explains this in first canto, 5th chapter, that maybe my grammatical way of expressing something may be not correct. Maybe my language used may not be, maybe perfect. But because the intent behind this offering of Srimad Bhagavatam is to serve my spiritual masters and the preaching mission, I'm sure the readers will get benefited. So from that perspective, if what you are saying as in terms of irritation happens towards the seniors, and the reason of getting irritation is because we are seeing some perfection and not the actual intent. So maybe that can be thought through and worked upon. Thank you for bringing this up, and I will try to work upon my fillers of and just as a rejoinder, many times this is used when you are also thinking as you are speaking, if somebody is an expert in a subject matter, they may not necessarily need to, they will not use this, and all. Since I'm not, I am still a learning student. Please forgive me for that, and I have to irritate you. Hare Krishna.
I didn't mean you, Prabhu.
Sure. I know you didn't mean me, but I'm saying that I know that I have that, propensity, so I should apply it on me as well. So that's why I took it on me.
The only thing is, when this happens, that's where I get distracted from real flow from the philosophy or thought pattern.
Sure.
That's what is disturbing. I don't develop any kind of bad feeling for the other person or whatever, because I know I'm also one of the with all the faults which we are kind of blinded to our own faults like that. But the only thing is I feel disturbed that I'm getting some impediment in understanding the flow of the class like that. So anyway, Prabhuji, thank you very much. Again.
Thanks for your question, Prabhu.
Very well, Prabhu.
Any other thoughts, comments, reflections? Okay, so maybe it's not very
Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji. If there are no other questions, we can end the call here. And Prabhu, Varanda Gopika Mataji is requesting if you can sing a Vaishnav bhajan.
Sorry, ma.
Vrinda Gopika, sorry. Vrinda
Vrinda
Gopika Mataji is requesting if you can sing a Vaishnav bhajan.
Okay, we'll sing a Vaishnav bhajan. Ajanulambita-bhujau kanakavadatou sankirtanaika-pitarau kamalayatakshaw vishwambarau dvijabarau yugadharmapalau Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Janudam Hitam Bahu Jugalam Kanakaputali Deham Arunayambaram Shobita Kalevaram Upamadeyabokaham Janunam Hitabahu Jugalam Kanakaputali Deham Arunayambara Shobita Kalevaram Upamadeyabokaham Hasavimala Bayana Kamalam Hina Hridayo Saje Hasavimala Bayana Kamalam Hina Hridayo Saje Unnatagimam Sinhajiniyam Udar Vigraharaje Janulam Hitam Bahu Jugalam Kanakaputali Deham Arunayambara Shobita Kalevaram Upamadeyabokaham चरण नागर उजर शशधर कनयामंजरी सोहे चरण नागर उजर शशधर तनया मंजरी सोहे हेरि दिनामणि आपना निचये रूपे जगामन मोहे जानूलंबित बाहु जुगल कनकपूतली देहा अरुणयंबर शोभित कलेवर उपमदेय मोकाहा कलियुगे अवतार चैतन्य नीताय पाप पषंड नहीं माने कलियुगे अवतार चैतन्य नीताय पाप पाषंड नहीं माने श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य ठाकुर नित्यानंद वृंदावन दास गुण गाने जानूलंघित बाहु जुगल कनकपूतली देहा अरुणयंबर शोभित कलेवर उपमदेय मोकाहा जया गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद नीताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल Translation. His arms extend to his knees and he appears to be like a golden doll. His form is adorned with a cloth that has the color of the rising sun. His beauty is incomparable. His magnanimous form shines brightly with a beautiful smile radiating from his lotus-like face. His large and prominent chest and broad shoulders are even more majestic than a lion's. His toenails are brighter than the full moon, and golden ankle bells adorn them. Seeing his exquisite beauty to be more brilliant than the sun, the entire world becomes enchanted. The incarnations of the age of Kali are Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Without considering whether one is sinful or a miscreant, they distribute their mercy. Vrindavan Dasa sings glory of these two personalities, his worshipable lords, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol Prabhu, such beautiful singing. Thank you so much. It was very, very beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful class and the very beautiful singing and inspiring all of us. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hare Bol Prabhu. We'll be ending the
Thank
call.
you, Prabhuji, for the beautiful class. Thank you so much. Very grateful to you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Keep us in a prayer so we all Bhakti Sangha teachers will enter in Bhakti Siddham Vrindavan Dham, Prabhuji. You are going 3 to 4 times in a year. Please pray for all of us.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay. We'll be ending here, devotees. We'll meet again tomorrow. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय श्री जय His Grace Ramgiridhari Prabhu ki jai.
की
Jai,
जय
jai, jai.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Krishna
धन्यवाद
Prabhuji,
thank you so much
Thank you, Prabhuji.